Hello, welcome to another episode of Black Ice 73. I am Black Ice 73. Today I'm going to talk about a serious subject that a lot of people don't like to touch on, especially in the black community. We're talking about anxiety and depression. It's a man in the black community, a lot of times you don't have nobody to go to when you're feeling depressed or you have some anxiety. The first thing they're gonna say, man, shake that shit off. You acting all weak and stuff. Man up. If you never suffered through depression and anxiety, ain't no such thing as manning up. Depression will snatch your damn soul out your damn body, man. You could be having everything going on so great, then that thing you know, you're down, brother. You're down. You don't want to get out of bed. Trust me, I know. I suffer through depression and anxiety. You don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to talk to no one. You don't want to just walk away. People, you like, they were like, what wrong with you? Like, just ain't feeling it, man. I'm tired. My body hurting. They're like, you need to man up. How can I man up for something that I can't control? So that was going on with Paul George. He was going through depression and anxiety in the bubble. He was saying he felt caged. I know that feeling. Because when I was in the Navy, then we had to go out to sea for 6 months. Sometimes you'll be out to sea, in the Navy, sometimes you'll be out to sea for 6 to 7 months. And you can't go, you might put in the port like when you be out there about 2 months or so, you put in a port, you like, hey, about 4 more days, you be out there and then you go right back out to sea. So I can understand what Paul George saying, you be stuck in that damn bubble. He said, on the outside, we looking at it like, man, go ahead and make that money. That's how the fans look at it. Make that money, man. What you got to be depressed about? Sometimes we don't look at them as human. Sometimes we don't look at the athletes as people. We just look at them as athletes. I know that sounds weird, but that's how we feel. That's how we look at them. We're like, what you got to be depressed about? This man said he depressed because they stuck in one place. He said the only thing they talk about, the only people he see is basketball players. He said he can't see his family. He can't go out and do what we take advantage of right now. We can just go out, go to the store or ride around or something. They can't do it. Right now, they just stuck. And he said ain't no recreations they can do but basketball. And I can understand that. Because you're seeing plenty of time that people with money have committed suicide. So if you can't relate what Paul George talking about, you never been through depression or anxiety. Because as you can see, money don't make you happy. That old saying, money can't make you happy. That's what's going on right now. Because Paul George, I think he making like doing 30,000 a game or maybe more. I think it's more with him because he labeled as a superstar. So you be like, man, you making all that money a game? But you don't know what's going through these guys' head. Just imagine, at this point, I know it might sound strange right now, but at this point, the NBA players who in the bubble, it's just like they've been arrested. Listen to me. I know you're like, being arrested? That don't make no sense. It do make sense. Make plenty of sense. If they leave outside the bubble, they're guaranteed at least 4 games. I mean, guaranteed at least 4 days stuck inside their room. Can't even come out their room. That's just like being in a hole in prison or in jail. You get thrown in the hole because you overstepped your boundary, because you went out and didn't follow the rules. You get thrown in the hole 4 days. Like the player from Los Angeles Clippers who went to a funeral. I can't think of his name, but he went to a funeral, and while he was in Atlanta, he went to the script club. Somebody took a picture of him. I think it was an actor or somebody that took a picture of him showing that he was at the script club. So to punish him, they made him stay in the bubble for at least almost a week and a half. I think it was like 12 days or something. It was 7 to 12 days he was stuck in the bubble. Same thing as a prisoner who get the fine in prison. They're going to get thrown in the hole. Imagine you're a millionaire and they tell you you can't leave out your room for 4 days. And some people pull up into your room in a hazmat suit, giving you some food because they're afraid you've been contaminated with that C-19. Then imagine people like Paul George, LeBron, and other people just be inside that bubble. You can't leave off the Disney's campus. You know, we thinking like Disney World. You ain't Disney. No, they ain't in that Disney World. They ain't in that Disney World you're thinking about. No. They get in a hotel and they got access to a basketball court. Paul George said he had to talk to the teen psychiatrist. He had to call his daughters, his family members. He had to talk to teammates just to get out this slump. As you know, Paul George scored 35 points last night. He said with the help of everybody else, and he said he woke up and he was feeling like, I feel like myself. So that's why he had an awesome game last night. So we need to, cause I know I've seen for the last week and a half, how people were making fun of Paul George on Twitter. They were dogging Paul George out. They were making fun of him, calling him, talking about, you missed the playoff. You know, like, no, you ain't missed the playoff. They were making fun of him. They were making fun of him. And then we got to think about it. Y'all see some big, tall men, and most of these guys are in their early 20s, late 20s, early 30s. The only thing they know was basketball. The only thing they know was people praising them, like, oh man, you're doing an awesome job, man. Fuck that, you the best. And then they go through Paul George went through a little slump. For 3 games, went through a slump. And they were making all kind of memes and making all kind of comments on him about Twitter. And you know, people on Twitter would tag you. So you picking up your phone, you see your name tag, you clicked on it, and you see a whole bunch of people dogging you out. And then you're trending, you're the top trending topic all over the United States. They don't know what this man going through mentally. They just dogging him out because of basketball. People need to understand what depression and anxiety. They need to do their research, or they need to wait or something. I'm gonna read you something in this article right quick. It said after burst, and then it was the people who covers them were also, you know, Stephen A. Smith, a little loudmouth ass, be talking shit, dogging the man out. Then you got other people out there like, look at Paul George, they can't win like this. Oh, the guy I was talking about earlier, I think of Montel Williams. Or Monte Williams. It's some shit. Okay, they said after busting out of the worst playoff shooting slump of his career with 35 points against the Dallas Mavericks in Game 5 on Tuesday, Paul George slumped down into an interview chair and exhaled. He said it might as well have been a sigh of relief. It's in a candid, vulnerable post-game interview post-interview session. Paul George admitted that his epic shooting struggles in his previous 3 games were a part of due to his experience anxiety, depression inside the isolation of the NBA bubble. He said after helping the LA Clippers beat the Mavericks 154-111, that was a damn, you bust out for real. They said the All-Star revealed that he was in a dark place during his walk-off interview with the TNT. He quote, "It was just a little bit of everything." George later explained when asked what he meant. He said, "I underestimate mental health, honestly. I have anxiety, a little bit of depression, just being locked in here. That wasn't there." He said, "I just wasn't there. I had checked out." He said, game 2, 3, 4, I wasn't there. I felt like I wasn't there. I shout out to the people. He said, shout out to the people that was in my corner that gave me words. They helped big time. They helped get me right. Get me back to the great spirit. He said, I can't thank them enough. They said, George emerged in game 5, hitting 12 of 18 shots, including 4 of 8 3-point attempts, to score more points than 34 that he scored in game 2, 3, and 4 combined. He did it like a player in a rush. He's scoring 35 points in 25 minutes to become the only player to score 35 points in 25 minutes or less in the shot clock era, according to Alliance Sports Bureau. They say after the Clippers set the franchise record for points scored in a playoff game, George's post-game interview session with reporters seemed therapeutic for the shooting guard. They said for 3 playoff games, George had an intense spotlight on his slump. On social media, he was relentless, ridiculed by critics for his playoff struggles as he shot 10 from 47 in game 2, 3, and 4, including missing 21 of 25 from behind the three-point line, according to the Alliance Sport Bureau. They said George was the first player to shoot under 25% in 3 straight playoff games since Bob Cousy in 1960, with a minimum of 10 field goals attempt per game. He said George said he has been trying to find a way to check out a basketball mode, which can be difficult to turn off inside the NBA bubble, where there is no family, any form of recreation available can be exhausting through the several weeks there. He said he started to feel like he was able to come out of the basketball mindset of the day of game 5 after getting some help. He quote, I felt it just at the start on Tuesday, George said. I talked with the psychologist, our team psychologist. I just felt it. My energy, my spirit was changed. That was all. He said, that's all it needed. He said, that's all I needed. I came here. I knew what my job was. I left it all on that court, ready to move forward. The Clippers said they knew George wasn't himself, that the slump had become more than shooting struggles, and that he had taken a toll on his spirit and state of mind. Coach Doc Rivers said he and his guards spoke at length in the coach's hotel room after game 4, in which Luka beat the Clippers in a buzzer beater with a 3-pointer in overtime. He quote, this is not a normal environment, okay? Rivers said Tuesday after the game. It just isn't. PG and I sat in a room after the game. We just had a long talk. Not all about basketball, really. Several players did it. Guys were knocking on his doors. It's a Montel who has shared that he struggled emotionally after leaving the bubble in mid-July and grieving the death of his grandmother. Said he spent time Monday playing Madden 21 with his teammate. He quote, he said, we just wanted to get him out of his room, just play video games. Just constantly be around him to show him that we're here with him. I think that did a great job for him because he went out and played carefree basketball. That the best PG that we can ever have. We don't want him thinking and inside his head come thinking inside his head because he already a great player. A lot of people are talking about him and saying the things about him because of his play. They know he is, and it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. They said with George feeling more like himself, the Clipper got a glimpse of how good their elite two-way playmaking duo can be. They said Leonard scored 32 points in 30 minutes, and the Clippers became the first pair of team history and postseason history to each score 30 points in less than 30 minutes, according to Alliance Sports Bureau. It's like other teammates, Leonard spent the past several days defending his confidence in George. He George quote, it meant a lot. George said, so support for his teammate. This is really hard being in here. It's not easy. All day, it's just basketball. It's hard to get away from it. You see guys on other teams. Shout out to the NBA for creating an environment, but at the same time, it's rough. He said, I just go to find what going to get me able to check out of the game and check out or just constantly being in that mood. All my guys help. I've been around them. We've been out playing the game. Great talk with Doc again. All my family was there. My girl, Grace, my kids, just so many people that I can name that I talked to in the past 24 hours that have helped me handle and just getting me into a better spirit again. Hey, shout out to Paul George, man. Shout out to Paul George for having the courage to tell people that he was going through some depression and anxiety. But like I said earlier, it is hard, man. It is hard for a black man, American black man, to admit that he's going through some mental struggles, especially with the audience that he's sharing this with. You know, when I first admitted that I had depression and anxiety, I posted on Facebook. And people like, no, you're so silly. You're so funny. I ain't, you ain't going through no depression. They ain't know. You can't tell by a post on Facebook what people going through. Or you can't tell about in Paul George case, you can't tell about what's going on in his mind because you see him playing basketball. Hey, shout out to Paul George, PG-13, for getting the help, admitting it, talking to his family, talking to his friends, talking to his teammates, talking to his coach, talking to the psychiatrist. Shout out to Paul George. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the share button, and hit the like button. Like me. I want you to like me, people. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks. You see the damn YouTube junk keep on messing up? I don't know what's going on YouTube. Google.